What's up? What's up? What's up? Loyal listeners, faithful viewers, your eyes and ears are not deceiving you. We are back again. We could not leave without ending this season right. Sending you guys off right. So consider this like a bonus, nice little Christmas gift with a bow. So it's your boy Kisharo, Jamie, Kwame, and Jermaine in the house yet again. How y'all fellas doing?
Hey man, it's Christmas time. I'm feeling
Christmas time, man. Break time.
Break time.
Indeed. So
Yeah.
Question. Well, so it's maybe two or three questions. But first question is, how old do y'all think I was before I stopped believing in Santa Claus? Just take a while, yes.
Probably for real though?
This is a real question, yes.
13, Jermaine. I think it was 13. 13.
Y'all kind of close. I was 11 going on 12 because Christmas, December, I turned, my birthday's in January. So I was 11 going on 12. So almost 13 years old. That is the most ridiculous thing I have ever thought of in my life. When I actually reflect back on it. And it came up because we say we're tired of giving somebody else credit for the work that we do,
right.
to these kids.
Of course.
We told Addison 2 years ago she was 8. There was no Santa Claus, and she was okay. She didn't trip,
really?
So so now she's 10, about to be 11. So I have just been so ready to tell Avery, can we just tell her and get this over with? Her
How
mom
old
is
is Avery for our listeners?
Avery is 7. She'll be 8.
You can't do it yet, dog. Give Avery some time.
Well, that's what her mom said. She was like, Addison was 8, so we gotta do it for Avery when she be 8. So June can't come soon enough.
Rip that shit off.
but also too, Sean. Also too is, does any credit goes to their personality? Because Addie's a little more mature as far as maybe so than Avery as far as doing things. So does that plays a part into the decision, or just going 8 and that's it?
Not for me. The personality has nothing to do with it all for me. It's just because I'm ready to get this over with.
So you're making it about you then.
This is why I'm conflicted. Let me tell you why I'm conflicted. Because I believe so long. Well, I guess because my mom allowed me to believe so long. It was only 2 things that I looked forward to in my life as a child. One was going to my grandma's house in Durham every summer, and Santa Claus coming every year. Those are 2 things that I always look forward to as a child. But again, I'm conflicted because I was like, I cannot believe you allowed me to believe this for so long. And it's bad because I remember being in middle school and, kids going back and forth, you believe, you don't believe, that type of stuff. I remember getting taunted by this girl. She was like, I believe you still believe in Santa Claus. And I was like, no, I don't. So soon as that conversation was over, I went in a corner in the 6th grade. I went in a corner and was like, I do believe, because I was like, I have to believe.
I think want them toys.
Dude, you was 3 years away from getting your driver's permit, and you was believing.
Exactly. My point. So my question to y'all is, do you think kids should really believe in Santa Claus? Should they have a childhood? What age do you think you should not? Or, what is your take on it? And how long did y'all believe, or did y'all believe? I'll shoot it to Jamie first.
So did I believe? You know what? I grew up in a house full of kids and family members. So it was one Christmas when my grandma and my granddaddy were pumping these gifts out. So the couch was full of gifts. So it wasn't a secret anymore. Now, the Christmas spirit, to me, Christmas is my favorite season. And when the Nintendo dropped in 86, I got mine, I think, in 87. So that's when I was like, okay, I'm cool with Christmas. And I know that ain't no Santa Claus because I was hip to a lot of shit. Now, that was my favorite Christmas ever because if they didn't give me that damn Nintendo, I was gonna kill somebody. I still physically have the Nintendo at my house now. But when I tell you that if I did not get a Nintendo, there would be dead bodies in the street, my G. So they got it for me, and I was happy as I could ever be. And I knew that they had to sacrifice to get that. Because ain't no motherfucking Santa Claus. it's mama and my stepdaddy Tony who had to sacrifice and get that expensive ass Nintendo for me. Now, should kids believe in Christmas? I say up until about 8.
Santa Claus. Be clear, not Christmas. Santa Claus.
I apologize. Santa Claus.
Yeah.
I mean, can they rationalize it? And it's not what I should do in the house as a parent. You know, you got to give them some kind of hope. There should be some kind of hope for a childlike feeling from kids. So yeah, I think until 8 is a good number, because after that, it's like I got to start talking to you. You and me need to be talking about real life stuff at that point. You should eat this, you shouldn't eat that kind of thing. Because at 8, they can decide if they don't like something. And they can.
What grade are you at 8 years old? Wait, 3rd grade or something? The 3rd grade?
You turn 8, yeah, you're in 3rd grade.
So really, they're in 2nd grade, in my opinion. Take that back, 7. Because 2nd grade is pretty smart.
There you go. All right, Kwame.
Pretty smart.
So I'm over here puzzled because I'm trying to think. Like, I mean, I kind of, I feel that you want a child to kind of still, like, you know, and I guess believe in that, and have that whole fantasy of Santa Claus. 8 sound a little young, but maybe in context, like I said, if you 4th grade believe in that, I guess so I'll say like 8 or 9. Then now that I'm putting it like in the context of what grade you are and everything else too, because by the time they in 4th grade anyway, I mean everybody's probably already, half the class already telling them it don't exist anyway, so it's almost like you have to kind of
get ahead of it.
Well, you was almost 8th grade graduation believing that joint. If I go to high school.
Well, how old were you, Kwame? Like, did you believe, or how long did you believe, or did you not?
I mean, I believe, but I mean, it was probably like when 8, 9 years old. I'm guessing. Like, it's very vague. I can't really remember.
But your parents still instill in you that there was a Santa Claus.
Well, you know, at first, there was Santa Claus, guys. I mean, it was kind of like that. It wasn't like a whole drawn out story. We didn't. I didn't leave cookies and milk for the Santa Claus. We didn't do all that. You know what I'm saying? But it was.
I did.
You know, but
damn, Charo.
We didn't get all that. We just got like, Santa Claus bought you this gift, and then at some point it transitioned to mom and dad got it. So it's kind of a little vague when I actually remember to pinpoint it. But I also remember a lot of things that I probably shouldn't remember at that certain age. I'm like, damn, like the stuff that I learned at 2nd, 3rd grade. Like, there's no way how I should have been learning that stuff, but it's what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember. I know we're not talking about, it's kind of like Christmas, but I'm kind of thinking we remember it, like, I guess the appropriate age to know certain things. It was very inappropriate when I was a kid, and I mean, like this, and I say it like neighborhood kids and stuff, because a lot of the stuff I'm learning is from the neighborhood kids. I remember playing Go Ahead and was it?
I Go Get It.
How to Go Get It. Yeah, I couldn't think of it. How to Go Get It, like in 2nd grade and junk, and talking about like.
Right. So yeah, you need to go ahead and get rid of that Santa Claus shit. In 2nd grade, you talking about some pussy.
Right.
I mean, we was hunching and junk, but it was just almost like,
come on, bro.
It was like everybody was doing, like, you know, I don't know what it was, man.
It's titty claws. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, man. What you say, Jay?
Looking for titty claws.
Yo, man, that just was nuts. I'm like, yo, why did I know this at 2nd grade? You know what I mean? Or the word of boner, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. I'm like, yo.
You kids.
Yo, I remember. The last thing I remember, like being in 4th grade, and one of my close friends at the time, named Benjamin. I remember us having a conversation. How he said he walked into his dad eating his mom out, and we had like a full-fledged conversation as if I'm talking to one of y'all. Like, I mean, we was like in 4th grade. He was like, yeah, man, I woke up on my bed and I was thirsty, so I went into my parents' room.
Nigga.
And my dad was eating my mama out. It's like, I said, what your parents do? And he was like, we had a full-fledged conversation. And, you know, but I was like, damn, how the hell I'm having this conversation in 4th grade? So Santa Claus and all this other stuff is light work right here.
Yeah.
I see. Clearly. Jermaine, what about you, bro?
So here's the deal. All right, so to answer your question, I think I was well, first of all, I used to catch, you know, coming from a single parent home, my mom, I mean, I heard other family members, aunties and stuff like that. I used to catch my mom putting shit under the tree. And then I was like 7, like maybe even 6, 7, like, hold up. Because we ain't had no fireplace. I'm like, how this motherfucker get in here? How
Right.
My point is, see, with kids, man, you know, around 6 and 7 years, 5 and 6 years old, we're really starting to make sense of the physical world. So that Christmas stuff is all it's fantasy and it's magical, right?
Exploratory stage.
Exactly right. So I knew for a fact, like, okay, you know, 5, 6, 7 years old, we don't have a fireplace. And my mom, you know what I'm saying? She doesn't want us to go in the room. She doesn't want us to see the wrapping paper. You know what I'm saying? Like something's up. But I will say this. I think my mom, I think around I might have been around in the fourth grade, when my mom just was like, look, I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? So, and it all made sense. But I will say this, you know, moving forward, she would always try to like be secretive about stuff. She doesn't want you to see her put it in the tree and stuff like that. And then, you know, I had friends, you know, you got friends, you got people around you who are Christians and Muslims, so you getting the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
And talking about it. So, but yeah, but me personally, I don't have kids, but I think around 6, no, I'm gonna say around maybe 7, definitely 8, but definitely 7. I think at the age of 7 is when I will tell my kids like Santa Claus doesn't exist.
That's funny. Hey, you know what? Well, I know you about to say something, but I was more devastated when I found out that wrestling was
Talk
real
about it.
versus Santa Claus. I
was hurt. I was hurt.
Well, I knew it wasn't real.
Man, I didn't know that.
Wrestling?
Yeah, I think when I went to a wrestling match, I knew.
Bro.
But I was young too. I had like 7 or 8. I went to my first wrestling match.
I was more attracted to the characters, Ultimate Warrior and all these other dudes. I was more attracted to them. But I just always had, because in school we used to talk about it. We used to try to do the moves. We used to make the belts in school.
Right.
And then your teachers would tell you it's not real. It's not this, it's not that, it's not this. And then you go home and you look at it, you're like, yo, why they
tell me it was fake?
That was ear before they do stuff.
Yo, my mama told me it wasn't real, and she freaking rocked my world, man. She was like, shit ain't real anyway. Why keep I must have been jumping on stuff and acting wild as hell. She got tired of it. Yo, I was hurt, yo. And I think honestly, after that happened, I kind of start like not watching wrestling no more. When I realized it wasn't real, that just broke my heart.
You was really destroyed, huh?
Yeah, man.
We ain't no better, Kashara. We ain't no better than them Santa Claus. When they told me wrestling was fake, I wanted to hurt somebody. I couldn't understand what do you mean it's fake. But then when I saw somebody miss a whole blow, still fell down.
And Jamie, you still don't want you don't want to come to terms with the fact that it's not real. You want to believe that it's so real too. That Hulk Hogan leg drop and all that shit. You want to believe that all that shit.
Top rope. It can't be fake. He jumped off the top rope on him. Not
crazy.
You're right. When I found out, and I'm still a little skeptical, like maybe it is real. But they travel together. I mean, I actually know Titus O'Neil, who works with the WWE, and it's like, yeah, it's clearly staged. They told you it's entertainment, but they are getting their asses whooped in there because that shit is as far as their bodies and the travel alone is. But as far as they're in tights wrestling each other.
I mean, binding to the script. You like I believed all that. You know what I'm saying? So at the time, the whole storyline.
Definitely something. The things we believe, brothers. But anyway, moving on. So in the spirit of Christmas, since we're talking about Christmas, this has happened to me maybe 1 or 2 times. But after that, we kind of got on a great path with gift giving. So Christmas now. Have you ever received a gift from your spouse, significant other, girlfriend, or whatever the case may be, partner, that you just did not like you looked at them like, why did you give me this? When your mind, you're thinking that, but you didn't tell them that. You know what I mean? Like, this is such a bad. We've all got bad gifts before, but we talking about from the person, that you love, that you intimate with. Like, how do you respond to a situation like that? Do you tell them it's a bad gift? Do you just play along with it? Like, how do you handle that situation? Because that's a very blurred line, in with those situations like that. You know what I mean? So, Jamie, how would you handle a situation like that? Or first of all, have you been in a situation like that before, and how did you handle it?
It wasn't a bad gift. It was with my one of my college girlfriends, Mia Peace. So Mia, I asked for pots and pans at my apartment, and she did that, but I didn't recognize what was what. So the pan was the skillet. I don't recognize it. A skillet is a pan. So I'm like, what is this? I was wrong as hell with my reaction. It wasn't a bad gift. It was actually what I wanted. But my reaction turned the whole day off. It was like she was mad as hell at me because I'm like, I was with the what the fuck is this shit face. I didn't understand what this was. I asked for pots, and she got me a pan, which is what the fuck a pot. So I handled it wrong. I tell you that. And she did get bad gifts. She gave me something for my birthday, like a eagle, a little quartz eagle. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I just. I was think about it. Yeah, she gave some really bad gifts. These gifts were not like, yo, he's the dope. Like, what the fuck is this, man? Your ass eagle. We broke out, threw that shit away like a brick.
Like you're skipping rocks in a lake.
That shit hurts too. It hurts
like,
when somebody.
Why did you spend your money on this for me? Why would you do that to yourself? She bought me that mess. I had that damn eagle for about a good year till we broke up. I threw that shit so fast. But that was a really bad gift. I think it was probably my birthday she got that from me. Like, what the fuck? So she is the culprit of a bad gift giving. What I did was pretty much stated at the time, like, what the fuck is this? But I was nice about the eagle. But when it was time to break, I threw that shit away.
Okay. Kwame?
Yeah, I received a bad gift. Actually from Kelly.
You throwing in the bus, nigga?
Huh?
Don't throw Kelly in the bus.
Yeah, man. It was when we were dating early on. Okay. And, I'm telling you about, like I said, it wasn't necessarily a bad gift. It's kind of like similar to what you saying, Jamie, but it was like I had said something in conversation, like, oh, I need like a traveling bag or a suitcase or something like that. So
for work?
No, like a regular traveling bag, like
vacation luggage.
Or whatever. Luggage, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, but yeah, we wasn't a luggage set. I just need like a traveling bag.
Like, you need a man purse. Put your stuff.
Exactly.
No, I need a regular size one, but not the whole set with like 3 or 4 different luggages. Like
you need a little joint to travel with.
Well, the big one, but I needed like just one. So so I said that in the conversation or something like that. So below, I don't know if it was Christmas or I think it was Christmas though. She got it for my for Christmas time, and I guess she saw the reaction on my face. And I was like, because we still kind of somewhat fresh. And I was like, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? But she read it, I guess, read my face.
What the fuck is this?
I was thinking to myself, Jermaine. But then, so she read it though, but I think eventually it must have came up, and she's like, well, you didn't like the gift or whatever. And I was just like, nah, it wasn't that I didn't like the gift, because I think I actually needed it. But I said, but when I look at Christmas, I look at my birthday, I'd rather have things I want versus things I need. And you gave me something that I need. So it's like me giving you,
it was out of place.
Yeah, that was like me giving you like a broom and a broom and dustpan. And that's how I was trying to explain to her. That's how I felt in a sense. So I guess she kind of, I don't know how she felt about it. She handled it pretty well, but I think she kept it back in her mind. You know what I'm saying? And what's so funny now is the fact that I'm struggling this year trying to figure out what I'm going to get her. And I mean, I got her something, but it might be on something on that. It might be a little blurred line on something she needs. She might give me the same little doses or something that maybe something she might not really want. But I'm only going off what she says, so we see how that goes.
And I think that's a lot of times people. I think Jamie or one of y'all just said it. I think a lot of times people give you what they want you to have, thinking this is something you really want or like.
Yeah.
And it's not, I think sometimes a lot of people get more excited about something they want you to have versus what you really want.
Correct.
A lot of
It's
people,
dangerous, though. It's
need
very
givers,
dangerous.
I've been guilty of that. But yeah, go ahead, Jermaine.
No, I'm sorry. I was just saying some people are need givers. I think some people they'll come case your spot or listen to you if they're very observant and get you. If you mention something you need, they'll cling to that idea and get it for you, opposed to what you want. So as far as me, it's happened to me a couple times. One in particular that I can remember, and this is just synonymous to what Jamie and Kwame just said. Somebody gave me something. It was definitely something that was needed, but I didn't need it at the time. She gave me like this really nice toolbox. All this, but I'm like, but I don't.
She gave you what?
Like
you broke
toolbox.
Toolbox. Oh.
But I wanted some Jordans.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't want no toolbox.
I don't want no goddamn tools.
Bob the Builder running his joint like that.
Goddamn Bob the Builder, dog.
But real talk, it was nice. It had like this. It had like a drill, all this stuff in there. I mean, but it was nice. Real talk, it was nice. But I think at that time, I didn't need it. Like what I had around the crib was good, and I didn't say anything. But I will say, she was a really good gift giver. I guess she felt like that was something I needed that I didn't have. You know what I'm saying? Or I needed more.
Just to add to you'll need it later than you'll need it right now. Like
and that's kind of how she thought. She was a big picture thinker, which I really respected and I was into. But at that particular time, I didn't want no damn toolbox.
Jermaine.
I wanted some damn money.
I need these foes. I need these cement threes.
Yeah, or some Jordan. That's what I wanted. But I will say this too. I'm gonna tell you something. I know for me, like, it really bothers me when somebody gives me a gift that I don't want. Like I'm really in my feelings about that. Like it really pisses me off when somebody gives me a gift that I don't want. You know what I'm saying? It's not. Listen, it has nothing to do with what I give them because I don't keep score at all. I don't keep score. But I just feel like, yo, just get me what I want.
Could I interject and just say one more thing about bad gifts?
Yes.
So when I was online, this motherfucker Tawana Green had the nerve to buy me groceries. When I tell you I didn't need no damn groceries, I needed money. I needed cash. I said, Tawana, can you give me some money for this line? This heifer brought over groceries. I wanted to strike. You know how much in despair you are online? I almost fainted in my room. I was like, groceries? Food? I can't even eat this stuff. I can't put it in my mouth. It won't stay down.
It's not won't stay down.
Yes. I wasn't eating
brought me
all
some
along,
grapes
so I know
and
what you're talking
some
about.
cold cuts. I was so mad at Tawana Green. I said, that $30 in groceries could have been the $30 I needed to give these foods to get off my ass.
Yeah.
When you talk about I wanted to take those groceries and throw them out of the window, I was so mad at her, but I couldn't show madness. I was like, well, you know what? Thank you.
But you know,
I
you
feel
want food.
I don't need these groceries.
Yeah.
I want to strangle you with this bologna wrapper, but thank you.
Hey, Jermaine, but just going back to what your gift was about the toolbox, like that toolbox set would be good for March the 3rd or June 15th or August 7th or whatever random day. That'd be a great gift. But on Christmas, like, nah, man, I feel you. Give me Jordans I want.
Do you think age plays a factor in this, though, y'all? Do you think? Because like now, Jermaine, like if she gave you the tools now, would you care or would you still be mad?
You know what? I wouldn't be as pissed about it. But see, now I'm at a different stage. I still want what I want. It's just that, you know what I mean? It's just that get me what I want. But I would be pissed, but I wouldn't be like I was then. And actually, when we broke up, I ended up giving the toolbox away to one of my homeboys.
Get it out of here. Get this out of here.
But Kashar, to answer your question, I think age. Well, I can't. Age. I just think being observant plays a role. If you're around someone and you're listening throughout the year what they're talking about or what they already have and may want more of, I think at that point you need to start being more observant. You know what I'm saying? But or just say, hey, shit, months before, uh, you you may need this, or what do you need, or whatever the case may be. Whatever, I don't know. But anyway, my bad. I ain't mean to go on that too long.
Kashar good at that, what you just said. Kashar real good at. He's good at listening and doing that. I'm horrible at that. Like I lean on him sometimes. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. He comes with all these kind of ideas. I'm like, damn, where you coming from? It's like a damn gift or something from him. I don't know, but he's very good at that.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, it's the same guy who took Tawana on a shopping spree while we was in college. I was just like, how the hell he do that?
Exactly.
I'm talking about to New York. Y'all remember that we were in New York and took Tawana? He was trying to
Burger King, Walmart.
What?
Save more money. Yeah.
He was doing something. I don't know how he was doing it because I was just like, yo, you took her to a trip in New York. It was her first trip. You bought her all kind of clothes. She was laced up. It was designer clothes too, I believe.
Damn.
This nigga was doing it big in that damn Walmart. Damn.
By any means necessary.
Kashara was crazy as hell, yo. All right, hey fellas, look, check this out. So since I wanna piggyback off of that in terms of our thoughts about Christmas, but let's transfer that to this season 1, right? And I just want to get some feedback from you guys because I think it's important that we share these ideas here. And the feedback I want to get is, I just want your take on this on season 1, but I want you to answer these questions in particular. First question is, like, what is it that you've learned throughout the duration of us, creating the podcast, each episode, from the topics to your, in your personal worlds, the whole journey, the tenureship. So what have you learned? What are some things that you've gained? It could be more knowledge about something. And how have you been impacted by this entire creation of this podcast? So what have you learned? What have you gained? And how have you been impacted by this podcast? And Kwame, I'll kick it to you first.
I think what I learned is, we kind of mentioned a little bit on the last episode 10, but just the work that it takes to put into doing a podcast. It's a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that you have to have a lot of effort in doing, as far as like preparing for what you're going to talk about, and just making sure the quality of the sound and having the right materials and stuff to do it, which is very feasible in the sense of, like, if somebody wanted to do podcasts, for example. It's kind of what you make it. Like, if you can do a podcast series straight from your phone these days, if that's the quality you want to have. If you want to have more professional or more, a more upgrade version of a podcast, then you might put a little bit more money into it, but it's still feasible. So that's one of the things that I actually learned from doing it. But like I said, the work, it's the work. Is probably the biggest thing. And I'm not saying in a bad way, it's definitely good, because I enjoy doing it. So it's not an issue, something that you enjoy doing. What was the second question, Jermaine?
What have you gained?
Well, yeah, what have you gained in terms of anything? Gain more knowledge of something, it can be anything.
I think gaining is just being more, us talking, first thing, us talking more regularly. Like we all been close, but of course, like I said, with school, we were seeing each other almost every day at that point, then at least regularly, and then we move on our lives, and people move and stuff like that, and we just kind of catch up, what I mean? But now it gives us opportunity just to talk, day in, day out stuff, every once in a while, way more often. So that's something I feel like we gain. I think also just in the general aspect of being more observant to the world and to other things, or just thinking about things, because now it could be kind of like you having a conversation with somebody else or somebody you see on television. You're like, dang, that's something we can talk about, and actually maybe bring it to getting everybody's opinions and thoughts about that particular subject matter. So just again, get some more observance, I think, and then how um, being impacted by it. I look at it like I said, just probably a blessing in a bad situation in regard to this whole pandemic. So it's just like it took time to slow down and actually try to do something. Opportunity to do this. We're here to do this podcast thing. And I think, like I said, just been impacted, just be able to share the information, let's talk, and then also engaging with other people who tell us about the show, what they like about it, their thoughts about it, what they didn't like about it. Those are the things that I feel like came from this for me.
Got you, no doubt. Kishara, what about you, man?
Oh man, I feel like I've learned a lot, and still learning. I feel like I learned about myself, like the strength within myself. I've learned that I am stronger than I thought I was. Like I always felt I was strong, but I've learned like, yo, you are really a strong person. Like through this journey of being on a podcast, it's definitely um, came out, if you will. The strength has been shown. I learned it is a lot of work. I think Kwame even said it, and I think we said in the last show, like there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that goes into making this machine run. And I don't think people realize that it ain't just popping up on, a microphone and a camera, like it's done. Like it's work that goes into that.
Right.
So I've learned a lot about this podcast world and still learning, still a lot that we have to learn. Um, I feel like Kwame already said this too. I feel like I've gained the brotherhood back that a tighter brotherhood, I should say, that we have. Because like you said, we have grown up, we all got different things going on, and I feel like we do not communicate as much as we used to. And I feel like this situation has brought us back to that, communicating. And I think, whenever this ends, which I hope it's a long time from now, I think this situation has brought us together for a reason. So I think we'll be more mindful the next time, and it won't allow us to take so much time apart, from knowing what's going on with each other, in our individual lives, if that makes sense.
That's right.
Impacted. I think I've been impacted a great deal by this podcast. Like I said, the first show, of the season, I'm gonna say it on this last show, like Kwame, I thank you for bringing this to us, because I feel like I always felt like we all have a purpose. You know what I mean? I feel like God put us all here for a reason, and I feel like whatever your purpose is, I feel like I'm a vessel for other people. I don't know how God want to use me, but I feel like He want to use me to help other people, and whatever platform that may be. I think this is one of them, but I think there are others too. But I always feel like if I have a purpose, then I'm passionate about it. Anything that I feel like is purposeful, I have passion about it. And if I have purpose and I have passion, I think you'll have longevity, and with longevity, you have success. So that's how I've been impacted by, this experience, and I hope to continue to be. So.
Well spoken, well said. And let me just chime in really quickly. I've learned a lot about the podcast world. And you guys already summed it up. It takes a lot. I've a few people mentioned to me now that we're doing a podcast that I want to try. And the first thing I say is, listen, it's work. It's work. It's not like you just get up here and start talking about stuff. You need to be very knowledgeable about the things that you're actually, talking about. I've also learned a lot about you all beyond, like, as of now. I think we've all learned more about one another, what we are now, which is great. I learned a lot about myself as well, which goes into what I've gained. I've gained more knowledge of you all where we are now. I've actually gained more knowledge about myself, and I feel like I was able to gain some of the time back that we lost. Just on our paths, different paths. Um, that's life, right?
That's life.
The things happen. Yeah, and I've been impacted in so many different ways, man. I think when Kwame first pitched it, like I was already all in, because in my mind I was thinking about I was already thinking about going through this pandemic and coming out on the other side. I want to come out with a few different new things. I want to be a part of some new conceptions and be a part of some new ideas or some new business endeavors or whatever the case may be. And this is actually one of them. So I was actually, it was impactful because it gave me something to look forward to in addition to the other things I was doing. And, my mom was like super proud, like, of the whole idea, right? And she was impacted by it. I think some of the things a couple of the shows she checked out with me, and she actually kind of had no idea I was feeling that way about some certain things, or I felt, especially with colorism, by my mom being lighter, lighter, whatever, she could really relate to that. So learned a lot. I was impacted a lot. I gained a lot, and hopefully we can keep this snowball effect going. I'm sure we will, and keep it moving. So, yeah. What you got, dude?
All right, guys. So what I learned, sincerely, is how to edit videos. I mean, think about it. Those videos come out really, really good. And it's like, oh wow, we could do this. So it was a new task, and I took it on. How to upload the videos. Like, yo, that's a real skill set. I mean, I learned that, and I've learned, of course, more about my brothers. I mean, we really gained back those 20 years we were separated.
Yeah.
Just like that, just by talking, having this constant conversation. So it's 20 years we've gained back to ourselves. What I've gained also is knowledge of myself. So if you could imagine, I haven't had to talk to anyone. And I told my wife this, I haven't had to talk to anyone. I had to type, but actually audibly speak to someone. I haven't talked to anybody like this since Phil moved out of my apartment. I didn't have to talk to anybody. Like I could, be on the phone, but having to talk to my friends is now new to me again. So the impact, what I've learned is that our voices have power, and our friends want to hear from us because they have the same experiences that we've had over these years, and they just want to hear our take on it. And I'm a big podcast listener, so when Kwame brought it to me, it was perfect timing because I had listened to on my Spotify more podcasts than I do music over time, because riding bikes and driving, you can get lost in music, but a podcast, you could learn stuff. So this is perfect timing that I could now basically put my feelings out in words through, a podcast, and a podcast with my brothers who've known me since '95. So that makes a world of difference with that. So I've learned, I've gained the knowledge, and the impact has been dope. And I think I have a segue. Did I just pull it off?
You did, dude.
Oh my God. Here I am, and I want to highlight our 10 doses of dopeness. I pulled it off, my first segue of the season.
All right, we can go with that.
Boom. I mean, we'll drop some music right here. Oh, yeah. I don't want to get no pressure to you, Kwame. It's okay.
It's pressure. It's a lot of
Ain't no pressure. Ain't no pressure. Allow me to drop our doses of dopeness. Number one, we have Michaela Omer with Be Fearless. She has a beautiful company. And then we got our brother Jermaine Jones. He has a book, From Poverty to Prosperity. Get it on Amazon. And then my lovely wife, Miss Faith Patterson, with the name of the company is now Faith Bynum CPA PC, where people matter. Please look her up, faithbynum.com. Yep. And then we got Miss Kiana King with Crown Glow. Thank you, motherfucker. Miss Kiana King, and that's Kwame's younger sister with Crown Glow. She has some amazing makeup. I forgot her website. I think it's crownglow.com. You can Google that. And then yours truly, Jamie Patterson with Subject to Change Customs. Please find us on the internet at at shop at S2C LLC or www.shops2c.com. And then we got our friend Tavares with Tavares' Charities, TT Charities. And our classmate, Miss Preference Evans with Art by Preference. And Sister Adrienne Finn with Adrienne Soul Food and Caribbean Cafe out there in the DMV. And our new friend, Miss Actress and Comedian AJ Sanders. She has a show out. I think it's what's called.
Multiple Personalities.
That's what I said. Multiple Personalities. And then our brothers, Off the Record podcast crew is for them, is for us. Check those guys out at I think it's OTR_podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Yeah, they on.
Yes, indeed.
So those are our 10 dose of dopeness of season 1. And if you have some, please feel free to let us know. We'll look them up.
Definitely.
Word.
Yeah.
Kwame, and since our last, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. You go ahead, please.
Since our last feature was indeed a podcast group, Kwame, do you want to share real quick with the listeners how this all came about?
Oh, well, okay. Yeah. Well, the whole podcast idea, actually, I thought about like doing a podcast, not knowing who, what, or how it would look like. About 7-8 years ago. It's been a while. I kind of thought about it, but never really took it like seriously or enough to be like, who I do this with, who I would do it with, and how it would come about. And it's funny because initially the podcast thing actually didn't really start, at least when I did it, come with us as far as 4 Times Dope. It was with some co-workers as well. We was kind of talking about it. The whole pandemic had just started, and we did like some mock trials, whatever, and stuff. And it actually was pretty good. I mean, it was, but I don't think that we were all on the same page, and a lot of discussions wasn't really happening and whatever. And the one of the people on that particular show was had some personal matters to deal with, so it kind of just stayed still, whatever, and stuff. And I was like, well, you know what, that would have worked. But maybe we could try something different and a different angle. That was a sports podcast. It was more sports related, and people talking trash and everything else. And I'm like, well, you know what? I thought about like when we was in college and how we used to talk. Not even just us. It can be like more people, like New Church and Bobby and Josh and whoever, there was in that community of people. There's a lot of people to name. So it's just, and we just might be at Jamie's house or be whatever else, and we drinking or talking, and we were talking about all kind of different like issues and different debates and all that, friendly debates, whatever and stuff.
Right.
And it can be something serious, it's racism to who's the best titties. Like it'd be like the craziest, wildest stuff. You know what I'm saying? that would happen, but it'd be some full, fun-fledged type of conversations. So I was like, well, dang, we can do this. I can, do this, with y'all three. You know what I'm saying? If everybody was down with doing it, and we can make it more. We already had the North Carolina Central connection already. You know what I'm saying? And we are, we all had these conversations individually, or sometimes in the group anyway, like, we do catch up, whatever, and stuff like that. So, like, why not put this out on the airwaves, and see how it goes? And so far, it's been working pretty good because everybody has different skill sets. Jamie mentioned, like you said earlier, learning how to edit, like making, like, promo videos. And I mean, the same thing, learning how to edit, like, this stuff on for YouTube, or learning how to do it for whatever the platform we want to use as far as getting out to Spotify and Apple and all that stuff. Like, none of this stuff, I mean, I ain't not doing none of this stuff beforehand. So with this pandemic, it gave us time to kind of like figure this stuff out. Cause Charlotte posting things, you know what I'm saying? Jermaine getting, adding some of the quotes up there. So we all bringing different things or potential guests or whatever we have going here, and it works together. And we communicate fairly well. So it's just like, all right. So the chemistry almost, in my opinion, was already instant. So the chemistry was there 25 years ago.
Right.
I mean, so that part, that's the easy part. It was just the other stuff that we had to get together. And I'm thankful that that everybody
timing and the schedules and all that stuff.
it's worked out. I'm thankful for everybody, all y'all accepted actually wanted to do this, man, and everything. And like I said, we bounce our ideas off each other. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we don't agree on certain stuff. Be able to work it out. Everybody, respect each other and all that. So it's not like an issue with us. So, that's, I'm definitely thankful for that. I mean? And I appreciate all y'all for bringing this to light. We got the inside, with the merchandise. So, hey, fellas and people out there, don't forget to get this 4 times dope, apparel, because it's out there for y'all.
Merch.
This merch is there for you, whatever. It's Christmas time. Go ahead and give your loved ones. If you're struggling to try to figure out what to get your boyfriend or get your girlfriend, go ahead and give them this right here. I'm sure they're going to enjoy
that merch waiting for you.
Nice material, good, great quality. You can't beat it.
Quality.
So, yeah, man, but all seriousness, no, I'm glad that it's working out, man, and everything, and I definitely enjoy it. And it's been I feel like a good first season. We're still learning, It's a lot of things we still got to figure out. Some things that we might want to wait on. A lot of people asking about us going live. That may come down. It may take a little bit longer. We don't know. We'll figure it out. But that's basically it. I did want to mention so we were talking about the recap, and Jamie gave the dose of dopeness, like the most popular episodes as far as the plays. So, for example, like on Spotify or Apple, the actual episode 2, What's Your Village, is the most played podcast of our season this year. And as far as YouTube, the most popular views on YouTube is the Overcoming Colorism, episode 8. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it varies, you know what I mean? So, I mean, we got some traction, we got data out here.
We do. So with that being said, we want to thank all you listeners and viewers. We want you to continue to support us. Tell a friend, tell your mom, tell your cousin, tell everybody. From 4 times dope to you guys, we want to say happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And please come back and support us in season 2. We got some good things lined up for you because we are 4 times dope. We are unapologetically Black, unapologetically men, and we are unapologetically dope. And we will see you guys next season. We out.
Should have been an R&B star. I tell y'all, man. Should have been damn.